Most individuals suffering from mental illness are nonviolent. Only about 5% are, which is a major concern for the police department. As a law enforcement officer, we have the opportunity to avert these tragedies by recognizing symptoms, intervention, and getting the appropriate care for the individual.
The training that we're emphasizing here will enable you to recognize symptoms of people who are mentally ill, have autism, Alzheimer's, any number of diseases. It's important because probably upwards of 20% of the people you'll encounter during your regular course of business as police officers have one of these ailments.
Training our men and women in law enforcement consists of a 40-hour curriculum that includes Introduction to Crisis Intervention Team, or CIT, Hearing Distressing Voices, Stigma, Interaction and Communication, Psychiatric Medications, Suicide Prevention, CIT Resources, CIT Tracking Reports and Commitments, Mental Health First Aid, Substance Abuse Disorders, Site Visit, Developmental Disabilities, Legal Issues, Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, Role Play and Escalation Techniques.
Every single individual who takes that oath of office and puts on that uniform every day to go out in service to others has run across individuals with severe issues. And we've all seen what these issues are, and they do flag for us constantly. This training, crisis intervention training, will enable you to link those critical pieces together and make sure that that person that you're encountering gets the services they need, and will also ensure that you get to go home to your family.
CIT helps people with behavioral health issues get the proper treatment they need and other resources, and keeps them out of jail.
A lot of times when we're not recognizing behavior as it relates to mental illness, we'll react in a way that is not only dangerous to ourselves, but a danger to the people that we're encountering.
An example would be Aaron Alexis, the Washington Naval Yard shooter. Approximately a month before this event, Mr. Alexis had actually contacted the police to file a report stating that he was hearing voices inside of his head. And subsequent to that, he had another law enforcement contact where it was reported that he had completely dismantled the bed in his hotel room, attempting to locate people he believed were hiding under that bed.
CIT reduces officers' injuries, SWAT team call-outs, and the amount of time officers spend on the disposition of a behavioral disturbance call.
What crisis intervention training does, it trains the officer how to differentiate between mental illness, some types of substance abuse, different types of psychosis, paranoid schizophrenia, when they encounter it on the street with individuals. And it enables them to point these people in the right direction, where to get treatment, instead of just arresting them.
It is a community collaboration between mental health providers, law enforcement, and family and consumer advocates.
There will be follow-up. You may even participate in some of this with our mental health partners and get them the proper treatment. So it's an all-encompassing program, and it's very important for us to participate in.
We've seen a dramatic increase from those suffering from mental illness, and working very closely with our mental health professionals, we're getting these individuals the treatment they deserve, not in a jail cell, but getting them the proper mental health treatment they deserve.
The 40-hour crisis intervention training course is an invaluable tool to add to the officer's portfolio.
That's why this training is so important for officers to participate in.
No matter what position you happen to be serving in within an agency, the very ability to prevent the next tragedy from unfolding will be such a tremendous boost for your entire community.
Our goal through this training is to educate all law enforcement personnel on the proper response when dealing with mental health illnesses throughout our communities.
Within days after he got back from his training in Montgomery County, he encountered a subject who was wielding 2 knives. Because of his training, he recognized some of his behavior to be that of a mentally ill person. He actually knew what his condition was, and he was able to talk his way through it.
While we recognize mental illness more today than ever before, there's still a lot to be learned.
And really, any time that you can prevent a tragedy from happening, not only have you saved yourself, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work, but you've also served your community, the greater community.
And we in law enforcement know we can do a much better job.
Yes, this is about officer safety and helping us as police officers and helping our police departments. But the most important thing is it helps the people that we serve.
We have become very, very good at responding to these types of critical incidents. We now have to take everything that we've learned and step our game up. We can prevent many of these tragedies from ever unfolding, and that's what our responsibility is today.